Howdy readers, I'm Jason. This is Chapter and Verse, and this is a book haul. Now I just watched my first book haul video from, I think it was late June, and it was kind of funny because in the video I talked about how I would only have one more book haul video, and it would be at the very end of the year. And it would likely feature less books than that one because my wife and I weren't going to be buying any more books until Christmas, etc., etc. And yeah, that didn't happen. That didn't happen. One of the things I think about Booktube is that it just makes us want books. And yeah, while we're not nearly buying as many books or being given as many books as many people on Booktube, we have acquired more in the last 4 months or so than I thought we would. And it was funny. I mean, that video was made right before I went to England, and I talked about how I was only going to be getting 1 or 2 books in England, and I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for myself, 1 for Kelly, and was given 2. So I was going to try to fit all of these books here in front of me into this one video, but I don't think I'm going to be able to. So I will do the first half, and then I will do a second haul video later in the week. So the first ones I want to share with you guys are the ones that I picked up while I was in London for the Golden Booker celebration. And some of these you've seen in other videos already, in the vlog videos that I did while I was over there, for instance. But I didn't really talk about any of them, and some of them you haven't seen yet. So while I was over there, I picked up Michelle Faber's Under the Skin. Oh, let's see if I can. There we go. So I read this, as you guys know, earlier this year. It was a library book that I had checked out. It's still the best book I've read this year so far, and I don't really like the current American cover. So I thought, well, when I'm over there, I will pick up the British cover, and that's what I did. I also got Coming Through Slaughter by Michael Ondaatje. I have not read this yet. It'll be interesting reading this. It's a novel about the world of jazz, I think, in the early 20th century. I don't like jazz at all, but I love Michael Ondaatje's writing, so we'll see how this goes. And then, as you guys know, I picked up Kaluki Nights by Howard Jacobson. And this one, I was able to get signed. I think there's video of me in one of the vlogs from that trip getting this signed by Howard Jacobson. He was very nice, which I wasn't completely expecting. He was squirrely, but he was nice. And then I got the Regeneration Trilogy in a single volume by Pat Barker. Now, she won the Booker Prize for the 3rd volume in this trilogy, The Ghost Road. I've always wanted to read these, particularly The Ghost Road, because it won the Booker. And I've read a lot of Bookers over the years, but obviously you can't read the 3rd book in a trilogy unless you read the first 2. So it was nice to see it in this really beautiful kind of matte cover edition while I was over there. And then I got The Luminaries, the official cover and spine of choice here on Booktube. And again, as you guys can see in my vlog video, I was able to meet Eleanor Catton while I was there. I got this one signed. She was the nicest writer I have met in a very, very, very long time. So I'm super excited to get to this. I'm not sure when I will, but I'm far more excited to get to it now, having met her and having been so impressed by her as a person than I was before. And then the last book that I bought for myself over in London this summer was Ondaatje's new novel, Warlight, which was longlisted for this year's Man Booker Prize. I haven't gotten to it yet, but again, I'm a huge Ondaatje fan, and I'm greatly looking forward to reading this. So while I was in London, I was also given 2 books as gifts, and the first one of those was the Mark Nash novel, 3 Dreams in the Key of G, which Mark Nash gave me himself. It was the night when my friend Ben and I had dinner with Mark and with Neil Griffiths, And it was wonderful. It was one of the great evenings of my life, I would say. And I read Mark's book this autumn, and it's good. Yeah, it's a good book. It's a complicated book. It's a difficult book. It's a thorny book in many ways, but I think in the end, it's a rewarding one. So as you can see, I've got my little stickies in it. But and then my friend Ben, who flew to London from Scotland to spend that weekend with me over there, which was wonderful. He brought this over. He and his wife is Anna, whose channel is called Book Spotting. They picked this up for me earlier this year as a birthday gift, and I just think they hadn't gotten around to sending it, so he decided to bring it to London for me. And yeah, this is an old Jane Austen biography by Elizabeth Jenkins. I find it interesting that this was published by Gollancz. I think I'm saying that right. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, Gollancz nowadays is primarily a publisher of science fiction. So I'm not sure, how that worked in the past. I'm not sure when they turned that corner, or if they just used to cast a wider net in their publishing. Let's see. And then, after I got back from London, my wife and I went to visit her parents, and we picked up some books at their house. They have a ton of books, and and there were a number of books that they felt fine parting with, or we asked if we could have, and they said yes. So I just wanted to show you the 4 of those that we picked up there. So the first one, right, it comes in this giant slipcase, and this is the Washburn College Bible from Oxford University Press. The slipcase, as you can see, I need to repair that a little bit, but anyway, it's just a giant Bible, and it has absolutely exquisite illustrations in it. Let's see. Here's the opening of the Book of Judges. Let's see. Yeah, hopefully that's coming out clear right there. And then I also took home from their house Hilary Mantel's novel Flood, which was kind of exciting to find. And then this, which it's funny, I'd never heard about this before, but this is a book-length poem by Stephen Vincent Benet called John Brown's Body, about the Civil War. I thought it was kind of odd that I had never heard of it before. Actually, apparently it was really well known at the time that it was published. And I'm not sure how much it actually has to do with John Brown, but John Brown is a historical figure who I find just incredibly fascinating. So the fact that his name is in the title of the book, just made me want to take it home. So I did. And then lastly, from their house, we brought home this Firefly Encyclopedia of Birds. This is very much a kind of Steve Donahue book. But I have been really getting into watching birds. We've got a bird feeder in the front of our house and a bird feeder in the back of our house. And I think I'm actually going to start keeping a little journal, because I've seen in the last few months species of bird that I had never seen before and that I needed help identifying. And the coolest one of these, the coolest two actually, was I saw a common grackle one day, and I just thought it was absolutely gorgeous. It had this black plumage, and its head, which was black as well, but it was also kind of purple and kind of green and shiny. It was iridescent in the same way that oil on a puddle of water is iridescent. So that was cool. But then I also saw I think it was a white-breasted nuthatch for the first time a few weeks ago, and got some help identifying that online from a number of my friends, including Johnny Keene, our own Johnny Keene. So, and then the last 4 I want to show you guys are books that Steve Donahue has sent me here recently. So the first of these is one I suspect I'll read and then maybe find a home for among friends of mine, but it is The Forgotten Creed: Christianity's Original Struggle Against Bigotry, Slavery, and Sexism. And this one is published by Oxford University Press. And then this one I will be holding on to no matter what. This is He Held Radical Light, The Art of Faith, The Faith of Art by my hero, Christian Wyman. So thank you for that, Steve. And then this one here is John Gray's new book, 7 Types of Atheism. And then this one is another one that I will be holding on to no matter what, because I'm just a huge fan of the writer. And this is The Dangers of Christian Practice on Wayward Gifts, Characteristic Damage, and Sin by Lauren Winner. Lauren Winner, who lives in the same city as our own Robert from Barter Hordes. So those are the books I'm going to share in this video. Otherwise, it'll be too long. So I've got some others here, maybe a half dozen from Book Depository that I will share in a very brief video later this week. So that'll be very fun. Book Depository has been a wonderful discovery here on BookTube. It has been one of the best discoveries, I think, about this world of bookish videos on YouTube. So if you haven't been shopping Book Depository yet, by all means, go to bookdepository.com and check it out. Yeah, you just really can't beat the variety of covers, right? British editions, Australian editions, American editions, all on one website, and free international shipping. So you just can't beat that. And the prices are really good too. Anyway, I hope you guys are having a great weekend. I finished a book today, so that was exciting. I'll be starting White Teeth by Zadie Smith this weekend, and I will talk to you guys again very soon. Adios.